Dublin, Ireland.
All right. Thank you so much for coming here. And I rejoice in the renaissance of your country, both in peace, prosperity, and spiritual. Because after disaster, we tend to become more spiritual. It is sad, but at least in Tony Bush we have roses. Similarly, in the late event, we have like war in Kosovo, and people tend to become closer together, more loving, more giving, more understanding. Also, they have more penchant for God's knowledge, and this is a very positive side. We think God knows, but sometimes we are not sure, because He doesn't always give us a sign that He knows or He does not know. The reason we do not see such a sign, or we do not hear His words of comfort and advice, is because our spiritual faculty has been blocked for some times. Since we came into this physical world, it has been blocked. Some of us are born till maybe 3, 4, 5 years, we still remember everything. We might even remember the past existence in another town or another country. I suppose you read newspapers some other time and you know that. And many of us still remember God. We were still in the presence of God the day we were born, up to a few years. But then as we grow older, the world that we live in crowds itself around us, and then we have to start learning so many things about human responsibility, behavior, duty, whatever society heap upon us, and then we begin to let go of the God's vision, which is always with us since we left heaven. And therefore many of us have forgotten that God really exists and how to talk to Him. And that is a very pity. But nevertheless, the Bible also told us that if we return to be a child, then we can enter the kingdom of God. The process of returning to childhood is a process that so many saints in the past have used. And we can return again to our purity, to our innocence, by turning our attention inward to the kingdom of God which is within us, and forget temporarily the mundane worries and responsibilities. Even though God is formless and we can never fathom His power or His vision, His face, but as the Bible has stated that God made man in His own image, we could see Him as well in a human form from time to time if He deemed fit to reveal Himself to us in such a way. Because only through a human form can we identify ourselves with our Father, because He will look like us. Also, only in a human form can we communicate with Him, and then we will feel the love from Him and then from us. Then we will know that we truly are the children of heaven. God sent His beloved Son to us. For example, Jesus. Yes. In the form of Jesus, in the form of the human of Jesus, He communicates with us at that time, verbally, in the flesh as well. Just like the Bible says that, and the Spirit become flesh and dwells among men. This is one of the physical case that it happened when God manifests Himself in a form of human being in a materialized manner. There's another way God manifests to us in a vision, also maybe in a human form, but it's not a physical form, but a metaphysical form. And He may choose to appear to us in the form of Jesus Christ or Buddha or other form of the Master that we trusted. And He will communicate with us, He can talk to us. Also, He can talk to us in another way, like intuitionally. Yes, He will let us know His answer to certain prayers from us or some advice to our certain problems. Nevertheless, most of the time, we will see God in the form of light. Like Moses, when he was alive, he see God appear as a flaming bush. That we can also see. We can even see more than that, because God is more brilliant than thousands of suns put together when we go into His mansion. In the higher the mansion, the more brilliance the light from the Lord. That even one hair, if suppose it's a human hair there, it would radiate thousands of suns' light. So in order to go back to such splendor and glory, there is a way to do it. There is a way that we can visit our home again whenever we wish to, and it is as simple as taking the candies or eating the orange, just because we have forgotten. So everything seems mysterious and difficult to us, so much so that sometimes we thought maybe God ignores our prayers, or maybe He doesn't exist. And then we try all kind of means to know Him. We even kneel for hours. We gone fasting for days. We pray all night. And we, sometimes even punish ourselves because we think we are too sinful. God would not visit such a sinner like us, etc., etc. But actually, all this is the trick of the dark force to put us down, to pressure us into submission to this physical existence. Because a child of God is always a child of God. Whatever he does by mistake or by ignorance is always forgivable by his Father. Once he knows the Father, everything is clear and forgiven. And from then on, he never loses sight of the Father again. This is how we become happy and we become more blessed, more loving, because we become secure in the kingdom of God, even now while we are still in this physical body. And then we are certain where we are going at death. Because, number one, we know already the way back and forth every day to heaven and earth, heaven and earth. I mean literally. Not with the flesh, but with the Spirit. We ascend into heaven and we descend into the temple of the flesh again. We can leave and go anytime we want. Also, after that, we never ever forget that God really exists, because He will remind us every day. He will appear to us every day. And to some of us, when our intense longing and sincerity burns within our heart, He even appears 24 hours. You will eat with Him, sleep with Him, you walk with Him, drive with Him, anything. And that to some such a blessed souls, he never fear hell, death, anything in this world will never frighten him again. And we could, all of us, or at least many of us, can attain such spiritual elevation if we want. It just takes a little quiet down every day. I wouldn't say work, because all we do is just sit quiet and wait for God to come. And He comes very fast. And at the time of initiation, He comes immediately. And later on, every day, he come. To some immediately, to some takes a little while, because, few more minutes or maybe half an hour longer, because our attention is wavering most of the time. And that's why it is difficult to see the Lord. It's not that He is not there. We have been trained to work in this world, to do all kind of mundane things for survival, and we spend most of our precious moments just to earn a living. And sometimes we don't even make ends meet. But to work for God, so-called work for God, it is a true blessing. It's not a work at all. Just like when we sit at the coffee break or we watch television, instead of watching the outside television, we will watch the inside television with the real heaven splendor. And then we might talk to Christ, we might talk to Buddha, whom that we trusted. We might even talk to our loved, deceased persons. And these are the talents, the ability that we always have within us. There's nothing new that I'm going to show you. There's nothing that you do not know. There's nothing that you have to pay for, ever, ever. As long as I render any service to you, never ever you have to pay anything for your own kingdom. I'm just the one who walked first, so I will just show you the way, because the way is ours. The house in heaven belongs to all of us, and God the Father belongs to all of us. We are in fact truly blood brothers and sisters. Just the outer appearance, the nationalities, the habit that we acquire in this life separated us in some degree. Once we enter in this circle of sainthood, we enter to the kingdom of God, we will see a definite links between all of us. We will just automatically trust each other and love each other in a way that we could not even understand compared to the way we were before. All the suspicion, the doubt, and the insecurity will disappear. Maybe the first day, maybe the first week, maybe the first month. It depends also on your intensity of longing for God, your sincerity of practice while you sit with Him, and your determination not to let the habit of the running around mind interfere between you and the Lord. And that's the only thing that may make trouble between you and God. Otherwise, the Bible said already, this is only the temple, and God is the one who lives within us. So if God lives here, logically we can see Him anytime, provided you turn your attention to the right place. It's just now we look everywhere, we think of everything outside instead of thinking the real kingdom. And once I show you where to pay your attention, you see Him, because He's always there. It's just like, if you want to see me, you look right here, right? If you look to the ceiling, you look to the back, of course you don't see me, even though I'm next to you. All I do is just say, here, look right here. That is as simple as that, to see God. Because I have found it so simple. In many ways, all of us are the walking God. All of us are the children of God. But we live so humbly, so poorly, sometimes so miserably, sometimes like beggars, just because we have forgotten the treasure that is hidden within us. So in a few moments after this, if you feel that you want to know Him, we are going to show you practically, with no problem, no complication. And that's what I'm here for.